The empowered woman is powerful beyond measure and beautiful beyond description. That's in the words of Steve Maraboli. Good morning anywhere you're listening to us on ogbc 90.5 FM. I hope you are enjoying your weekend. And how's everything going with you? Well, it's time to welcome you to this edition of Feminine Scope, where we invite strong ladies and women who are on top of their careers to come and share their experiences with this generation. My name is Toyin Sogbesan. You're free to call me TS. I'm sure you had a beautiful Workers' Day. To all workers, I say congratulations, and our sweat will not dry before we receive value for our labor. My guest today is Barrister Latifat Alatishe Abdulquadri, a legal practitioner. It's nice to have you in our studios today.
Thank you, ma.
My barrister at law. Great to have you.
Thank you,
so,
ma.
want to know who Barrister Alatishe Latifat is? What was growing up like for you? Who were your parents? How did you grow up?
Okay. I come from a family of 6, and we are 2 sets of twins.
Wow.
Yes, I'm from the second set of twins. I'm the Taiwo of the second set of twins. So, and I'm the only lady among the men.
Ọ̀kan làwọn.
Yes, ma.
Great, that's interesting.
Thank you.
But you are not a tomboy. You don't look like it. I've been grown up with boys.
Yes, I've been a tomboy while growing up.
Okay.
I used to play football with them when we were younger.
Serious?
Yes.
Okay, so let's share those moments growing up with your siblings.
Okay, growing up, it was very nice. It was a pleasure growing up because I learned a lot of things from my brothers. I learned a lot of things. I learned how to persevere. Apart from just football, I learned a lot of things. In fact, my elder brothers, they're also twins. They were the ones who actually guided me. They taught us tutorials then while growing up, especially in our junior secondary school, going to senior secondary school. So they were the ones who introduced science students, science courses, art courses to us and all that. But I preferred the arts.
Okay. You love to read.
I love to read, but I never really liked mathematics.
Oh, almighty mathematics. That's it. Okay.
So,
which schools did you attend?
Yes, for my primary school education, it was New Covenant Nursery and Primary School at Lagos, there, Jakondi Estate, Solo. Then I proceeded to Muslim Girls High School, Jebodi, for my secondary school education. So for tertiary school education, I went to University of Lagos. I bagged my first degree, LLB, at University of Lagos, LLM at Lagos State University. That's LASU.
How did you come about studying law? Why did you choose law of all the courses? Why law? Something must have motivated you.
For me, it was really inborn. I was this strong-headed girl where I hardly make any statement without mentioning rights. I will be telling you, it is my right. You have no right to tell me what you are saying. So people would. In fact, while I was in secondary school, I got an award for always being on my right. So they always refer to me as human rights, human rights, human rights. I just love to talk about rights, to know about my rights, to know about people's rights and all that. So I decided to go for law.
I see. So tell me, of all the siblings, your brothers, are you from a polygamous home?
No, madam.
Oh, despite being a Muslim, from the Muslim background.
Yes, I'm from
your dad had just your mom.
Yes.
Okay, you are the second set of twins. You now had younger ones after you.
No,
or you are the last?
We are the last set.
Oh, you are the last. I see. So where are your other brothers now?
Okay, my other brothers are medical doctors, consultants.
Okay.
The first one, Brother Taiwo, is a medical doctor at Ladoke Akitola University of Technology. So he's a consultant psychiatrist. Dr. Kende is a medical doctor and also a surgeon at Igbobi, a consultant there too.
Oh, I see.
While my twin brother is an IT engineer.
Oh, you people have done very well for your parents. Where are your parents now?
My father is late.
Oh, no.
While he was alive, he was a lecturer of Arabic studies before it got marked to Tasud.
Okay.
While my mother was a banker then, but she retired and she started trading.
Okay, Barrister, you moved from Lagos for your primary education to Ijebu-Ode
Yes.
for your secondary education. That movement, anyway, you were still very young at that time.
Yes.
You moved to Ijebu-Ode. Why did you move from Lagos to Ijebu-Ode?
It brings up memories when people ask me such questions. Yes. My brothers are always playing football around the house. So one day, I was ill. I was with a family friend close to the house. So my brothers, as usual, went to play football. They did not lock the door. At the moment I said, let me visit the house, it seems they would have returned from school, my brothers. By the time I got there, I just saw my neighbors packing all our things out of the house. They told me, don't say anything, no. Want to teach your brothers a lesson.
Wow.
I said, what? And they are elderly people. They are like my mothers, the neighbors around. They took so many things. When my mother came, when she returned from work, she was like, where is the TV? Where is this? What is happening? And all that. She started beating my brothers. Nobody could explain anything. Then the neighbors came back. They reported my brothers. Can you imagine? These boys went to play football. They left the house ajar. The door ajar and all that. So immediately my mother just decided that, because my dad travels a lot, he was working in Ogun State. My mother just decided that everybody will go to Ogun State for secondary school. My brothers were already in SS2 then at Metropolitan College Solo. So they got transferred to Ijebu-Ode Grammar School. They started
in a boarding school.
They started their secondary school education from SS1. And we were still in primary school trying to gain admission into secondary school. So myself and my twin brother, we went to Ogun State. I went to Muslim Girls High School, and he also joined my elder brothers at Ijebu-Ode Grammar School. That was how
you found yourself in Ogun State, in Ijebu-Ode. And you now went back to Lagos State.
Yes.
Okay. After secondary school, you gained admission. You had 4 years. You said you had 4 years something?
Yes,
break?
4 years break.
What were you doing those 4 years?
I was helping my mother with her business then in Lagos. I attended JAM lessons, and I also did a diploma in law at LASU, because then I loved LASU so much. I heard a lot about LASU. I heard a lot about one Professor Jadesola Akonde who made LASU very good. LASU law was the best then, as according to what I heard. So I was always feeling in LASU. I tried for their diploma in law, but I couldn't get admission through the diploma. In fact, the lecturers were telling us, don't rely on this diploma. Go and get your JAM, pass through your JAM and all that. So I had to try JAM again. In fact, I called one brother, because my elder brothers had gained admission then in 2001. I just told the brother in my area that, you are good in maths, you are a commercial student, please come and put me through with mathematics. I told him the areas, the gray areas where I needed help with. So he just put me through. Then I passed. I did my GCE, I passed, and then I gained admission into Unilag.
No. And then you were in the hostel too, of course, at Unilag.
Yes.
So from the time you left school, you left the university, let's trace your journey up till this moment. After your first degree at University of Lagos, did you work at all, or you just proceeded for your LLM straight up? So let's take it from Unilag days.
Okay. I graduated in 2011 in Unilag. I proceeded for my law school in 2012, service in 2013, and I started working immediately. At first, I was working on my own. I had my own law firm, a small office then.
As a young lawyer?
Yes.
Wow, you already had a firm?
Yes, I did.
What were you doing without the experience?
Yes, I wasn't having litigation experience, but I had soliciting experience.
Okay.
But even at that, I think God has been helpful to me in several ways.
For a layman like me, or a laywoman like me, what's the difference between litigation and soliciting experience?
Okay.
Solicitor, you are soliciting. Litigation, I don't know. I'm just a novice.
In Nigeria, the profession is a fused one.
Okay.
But in Britain, for instance, in the UK, it is separate. For solicitors, you are just to draft legal documents. But for litigation, you have to appear in court to speak.
Okay. So you didn't have the litigation experience, but you had the other one.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on from there.
But I knew something was missing even while I was practicing on my own. So I decided that I wanted to have litigation experience. So by 2015, I joined the law firm. I started working there. From there, I met my husband. Okay. So we got married and I moved to Abdulquadri. And I started practicing with A.H. Adesanya Broadfield Chambers.
Okay, in Abdulquadri.
Yes.
Okay, why have you not decided to work for government?
Not that I didn't want to work for government, but I preferred working with private law firms because there's a lot of flexibility and freedom around it.
Okay. So how did you now meet the man? What happened that day? How did it happen?
We met through a friend, a mutual friend, actually. My husband is Dr. Razak Abdulquadri. He's also a medical doctor at FMC, Abdulquadri. So we met through a friend who actually connected us. Like, do you know so person, Barrister Latifat? She has doctors who are brothers. From there, we got connected and we started talking on phone. We met, we had some dates, and we clicked, and from there,
things started happening, and you settled down. How's the family doing?
We thank God.
The children?
Yes, we have only one daughter.
Hey, yeah, to the glory of God.
To the glory of God.
It is well. The program is Feminine Scope on ogbc 90.5 FM, and my guest is Barrister Latifat Alatishe Abdulquadri. I wonder why you didn't put Taiwo in your name. Because she's a twin. It is well. So for younger people now that are listening to us, a lot of them are disappointed lawyers. And what do I mean by disappointed lawyers? Quite a number of young girls and boys that are in the arts, science and arts, that are art inclined, will always feel their job for law. Everybody wants to be lawyers, and at the end of the day they get disappointed because they are not meeting up. What does it take for one to be a lawyer, to study or read law in the first instance?
The very first thing that one needs to actually have a credit in maths and English, and
even
then
for
in
law.
art courses, even for law.
Okay.
Because that was what actually delayed me from getting into university on time. There is a 4-year gap. It wasn't first
attempt?
No, I have a 4-year gap.
Wow.
Yes. Because I didn't make my maths at first trial. So I kept at it. I made the maths, then I gained admission.
Okay.
So one has to, because I used to think that for a lawyer, while I was in secondary school, that it wasn't necessary to have a mathematics. But later, even while I got to university, I was told that you must make a credit in maths. That is where the journey begins from. So when you make your maths and English, and also law courses like government, literature, then you are good to go. You put in for law, and by God's grace, if you pass those courses, you'll be selected, and then you pass your JAM. One has to also register for JAM classes. Young boys and girls should know they have to register. You go for JAM classes, you attend, and then you make your result, JAM result. JAM is not that hard, and then you also have to make use of past questions, because you always repeat questions.
Okay.
So it is important to study the past questions. When one does that, then you make your results.
Once you gain admission to read law in the university, what are you expected to do, or what is expected of the candidates? Because I'm asking these questions so that the younger ones will know that, oh, I have to be serious about it.
One has to have a strong analytical skills. Very strong analytical skill, because law courses demands that you should be able to recognize differences between cases. When there is a case and you are given a question during exam, you should know that there are cases that fall, we call it cases that falls on all fours. with the one you are treating. There are always similar cases. So you have to think of a similar case where such thing had happened. So you relate it, you cite those cases. Also, if there are laws, you cite the laws. Then you move on, you analyze your case. That, okay, in so case, this happened. When it happened, then falling on all fours with this particular case, you begin to analyze your case. That this also happened, definitely it means that this case applies to this particular case. You look for significant similarity between what case had gone earlier and then the one you are treating. And then you know the laws that apply, you apply them as well. It's very simple. Because there are always cases that actually falls on all fours with the particular question you are treating.
My barrister, looking at you, I can see that you are ebony beauty.
Oh, thank you, madam.
Black is really beautiful. I'm just admiring you that see ebony, crying out loud. So why did you decide to keep your color, this black color?
I decided to keep it because I realized that black is beautiful.
It is, honestly.
It is beautiful.
It is.
And you don't do makeup. The likes of Agbani Darego.
Yes. You don't do makeup.
Not that I don't do makeup. I sweat a lot, so interferes with me. So I try to stop the sweating with, I even have
like I'm doing already. All my powder already in this.
It will go. By the time you use makeup, it will all vanish. By the time you start sweating and you rub, you clean your face with handkerchief.
But when you are going for parties, you rock it. Oh, sure. Yes, sure. So, married to a medical doctor, they're always out of their home. On call, how are you managing with your husband?
I have to manage.
Actually, are you a lawyer?
Yes, I'm a lawyer. As a lawyer, I have to manage because my husband is also involved in NMA activities.
Okay.
At a point in time, he was the secretary of the NMA branch and all that. So, he has to travel at some instances, either for conference and all that. But I have to read books. And I also am always busy. Our law firm is always busy. We always have cases Mondays to Fridays. How do you cope? It is by
with
the
home
grace
front,
of God, ma.
Especially with your daughter.
It is by the grace of God.
It is. So keep them rolling.
Thank you, ma.
Don't stop at one. Keep that coming. Your husband is a medical doctor now. You know what I'm saying now.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want you to advise this generation, this WhatsApp generation.
Okay.
You are in between the old school and the new order. So I want you to take a look at what this generation is doing, especially the girl child. And I want you to advise them. Look around you. You see them flying down cabs, private cars. I just wonder that what is this? Some of them just depend on men to make it, to keep themselves going. And you begin to wonder from which homes are these from. So talk to them.
Young women have to be very focused, and you have to be very serious in life. You don't have to rely on men because beauty will fade. By the time you begin to go after men in your teenage years to your 20s, when you get to 30s, this men would leave you. They would leave you and go for younger women. So the best thing is to secure your education, focus, go for your education, have a career, get married, settle down, and build a family. Running after men is not the best thing. There are also so many diseases out there. So I don't think it's a good idea to run after men and, young men. In fact, Abeokuta especially Ogun State and some other states, because God help us, this is like we are getting closer to the end times. There are so many people, using young women for so many reasons. So young women should be very careful. You don't live a wayward life, reckless life. It's not good at all.
Who is Alatishe?
Myself.
Yourself. Your name is Latifat Alatishe.
Alatishe, yes. My middle name is Alatishe.
Why do you use compound name?
That is because...
because I just saw that, Barrister Latifat Alatishe Abdulquadri.
Yes.
So why compound name?
Yes.
Why combine your father's name with your husband's name?
That is because I like to be recognized for the effort of my parents over me. I wish and I want my parents to get recognition for their effort over me. I don't just wish to take up my husband's name and then you forget that my parents labored over me, especially my mother and my father. So by the time I mention Alatishe, the recognition still goes back to my parents.
Oh, and your husband is not raising any...
No.
He's understanding
He's
between both of you.
Yes,
so which of the Alatishes? Yes.
The
Ijebu-Ode. The Ijebu-Ode Alatishe.
Yes.
No wonder you want to keep that name. No wonder you want to keep that Alatishe. That's a very popular family in Ijebu. So you want to be associated with that Alatishe.
Yes,
Where's your
I
husband
do.
from?
He's from Lagos State.
Oh, he's from Lagos.
Yes,
okay.
Shomolu area.
Okay, so Ijebu and Lagos coming together. Well, do you party?
I don't party.
Why are women of these days not going for parties? So how do you unwind?
Except for family functions here and there.
So how do you catch your fun?
I relax at home. I
Doing
listen
what?
to music.
All within the four walls of the compound? You're okay with that?
Yes, I am.
You don't attend parties?
I don't.
Do you
really
listen
attend
to
parties.
music?
Yes, I do.
What type of music do you listen to?
I listen to Islamic musicians, you know.
Are you serious? No
Yes.
secular music?
I also listen to Johnny Drew.
Okay.
Yes. There's a particular song I like that he sang.
Okay.
I think they said he sang it in honor of one musician that lost his mother. Yes.
I don't know that.
How are you, my friend? It's a very
Are
good
you
name.
my friend?
Yes.
How do you do?
Yes.
Hey, this Alaja is. That's the type of music. You don't like Alujo? You don't like Alujo?
Not really.
Oh.
Maybe when I was in secondary school, yes. I was into hip hop, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yes.
Now, I don't even know where to classify you. Whether old school, we old school, we know how we used to party. Then you are moved from old school when you're in school. You are not in Gen Z. So where do you belong? Okay, now. So what type of music do you want me to play for the program?
You can play How Are You, My Friend.
How are you, my friend? Okay.
I know sometimes it be like say nobody send you. That's when I did for you, my friend.
I didn't no vex for me. Say I never go you since, but I hope that you are well. I hope your market sell. Every day I dey pray for you. Make you Baba, God bless you. I never forget you. I gon' forget you. See my shoulder, make you rest up on me. You know I got you. Now me be your friend indeed. The money don't show now. I don't keep some for you. You know go so far. Cause anything I get now for me and you. Yeah. How are you, my friend? How do you do, my friend? I know sometimes it feel like say nobody sent you. That's when I did for you, my friend. Remy Atata, you always stay in my mind. Adi me gone. I cherish you with my life. Don't worry yourself, oh. Everything go day alright. And if anybody try you, you know it's gonna be on sight. See my shoulder, make you rest up on me. You know I got you. Let me be your friend indeed. I'm on the money don't show now. I don't keep some for you. You know go so far. Cause anything I get now for me and you, yeah. How are you, my friend? I see you, my brother. How do you do, my friend? I see you, my sister. But sometimes it feel like say nobody sent you. That's when I did for you, my friend. It's been so long. How are you, my friend? How do you do, my friend? I know sometimes it feel like say nobody sent you. That's when I did for you, my friend. I know sometimes it feel like say nobody sent you. That's when I did for you.
my friend.
I know that I don't call enough, but you're always on my mind. Oh, I did for you, my friend.
Thank you very much for finding time to be on this program.
You are welcome.
Always
Thank you, ma.
You're welcome, my sister. And my regards to Doctor and your sweet daughter.
Thank you, ma.
This is how far we'll go on this edition of Feminine Scope on OGBC 90.5 FM. I thank my guest again, Barrister Latifat Alatishe Abdulquadri, a legal practitioner. Let me also thank my producer, Temilade Tijani, assisted by Fumilayo Akintoye. My studio manager is Samuel Ojunleye.